Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking in Quiet. I am your host, your co-creator, Chef Dante, and it's been brought to my attention that there's been some slander against the pot roast, and just want y'all to know we're not here for it. And because of the slander, look what we got. A pot roast. First and foremost, pot roast is expensive. This is, what is it? 3 pounds, $28.02. By the grace of the Lord Jesus Almighty himself. They had it on sale when I walked in, so I got it $7 off. But 3 pounds of meat for $21. There should be no slander at all. But anywho, pot roast is a childhood favorite. I mean, I freaking love pot roast. Pot roast always sounds delicious, but it's labor intensive, and I don't think it's a beginner friendly meal. So just keep caution with that little tidbit and pay close attention to what I do today. So right now what we're going to do is sear off our meat, and I just have a large skillet heating up to medium. Once I have rinsed off the meat and everything, we'll go ahead and sear it, season and sear. So I got this beautiful piece of Boneless Chuck roast. This is actually a really good piece to use. You can use the bottom round, the eye round, the other rounds, and everybody else shapes. But it will take longer to cook. And according to my dad, this meat has more marbling in it. So because it has more marbling, it has more flavor. If the meat does not have marbling on it, it's gonna be really tough and not be as flavorful. No, not yet. He's scared, y'all, because I'm touching it and I didn't wash it yet. But I just wanted to show y'all the marbling. This equals flavor. If you don't see this on the meat, it's gonna be real tough, and you know. But luckily, this isn't one of the like really, what can I say, dirty meats? Does that make sense? Like, it's not super filthy that you need to be soaking it in vinegar and whatnot. At least I don't do that. So we're just gonna take some cold water and thoroughly just rinse it off. You don't want to use hot water, because when you're using hot water on meat, that hot water will actually start to cook your meat, and you don't want that. We don't want that at all. And trust me, you will know when your meat is like not a good cut. It'll be like really slimy and like gelatinous almost. This feels really nice, really clean piece of meat. And I don't have a new set of nails on, so this is where I'm just touching it. And if you're new to the show, it's called Cooking in Quiet because cooking isn't quiet. It's just not quiet. Okay. So now that we've rinsed our meat, you'll see like the color change a little bit. It went from this vibrant red to a little bit less vibrant. And what we're doing, can y'all see me? What we're doing is trying to get all that water out, because when we sear, we want to sear. We don't want it to start like bubbling and stuff, like a boil. No. We want perfectly seared meat. So we're going to pat it dry with some paper towel and flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. Flip it over, same thing. Just patting it dry. And before we season, I'm gonna show y'all something that I like to do. It's the same kind of meat that you would use to make birria tacos, so keep that in mind as well. Them ain't cheap to make. But anywho, pot roast. Take our knife, make some incisions. What we're gonna do, take a piece of our garlic and stuff it in there. There we go. And what this creates is basically like an aromatic piece of meat. You're just getting flavor into those pockets. And if you have a meat injector, you could go ahead and use that too. But listen, everybody ain't got those tools in their house sometimes, so just make this cut a little deeper. Okay. Got some in there. Cool. Now, because I like to keep my seasoning containers clean, I will use a glove. Because nothing worse than you reaching in the cabinet and your seasoning container got seasoning on the outside. I hate it. Y'all, these new gloves I got, I don't know if I like them. I think I ordered them too small. I think so. Whatever. Am I the only one that likes to do this? Take a fork, pop it open. Just me. All my seasoning will be posted down below. But so far you see I got me some seasoning salt, some complete seasoning. Can't go wrong with complete seasoning. Garlic powder, minced onion, some salt-free all-purpose seasoning, Worcestershire, and a little browning, some salt and pepper. So let's start with putting some pink Himalayan sea salt on our meat. Because one thing about beef, if you don't season it properly, it's just not gonna be good. Going in with some garlic powder. I feel our pot heating up nicely. A little complete seasoning. And we're seasoning this generously because when you sear, sometimes those seasoning come off while you're searing. Remember that we're doing this to all the sides. And then some of our salt-free seasoning. Looking like, why so much seasoning? Listen, it's a stew. It's a stew, honey. You ain't seasoning that stew gonna be bland, honey. Okay? We flipping. Remember those slits we made? You gotta do it to the next side. Put you a nice chunk of garlic in there. Your family gonna be like, oh my God, this is so good. What'd you do? You don't gotta tell them I told you. I don't need credit. Just watch, like, share, subscribe, you know. You're just trying to create flavorful roast. Now I know they wasn't doing this back in the day. You know, just part of the new age tricks that we do. Trial and error. And we're repeating the seasoning process. So starting off with our pink Himalayan salt. Generously season that. Forgot to put the pepper on the other side. Oh, and by the way, we are doing this in a crock pot. We're doing this in a crock pot. So you can walk away from it and enjoy the rest of your day. And then when it's time to eat, just go onto your pot, save your food. I'm just using the same seasonings again. Okay. Now, take a little bit of vegetable oil. I told you it's on medium heat. I'm gonna sear this baby. And keep it on medium heat. I know you're probably tempted to turn that heat up, but don't do it. Just a sear, not a burn. Okay, ready? Just leave it there. Like, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. And that seasoning right here, don't throw that away. You need that. You need it. Again, if you're new, we do like to clean up a bit. You know, make sure everything is tidy. Because if you do it now, you don't have to do too much later. And we're pretty much letting it sear for about 5 minutes on each side. And wash our hands. A knife. Can you hear it? Just leave it. You're not ready to flip. Go move that over to the side as we prepare to chop our veggies. So I have 2 large onions. So I'm just gonna peel and roughly chop. And I like a lot of onion in mine. Onion has a really good sweetness. Starting to smell good, y'all. Yeah, that still looks good. 1 more minute. Put our heat back down to medium. And we'll finish chopping our onion. And we're not gonna put potatoes in ours because we're gonna serve it over some homemade creamy mashed potatoes. It's like it's a perfect dish. You have vegetables, you have meat, come on. Everything you need. What was the comment you said, the person said, babe? They work in an office, not a what?
Forecast. He said I work with computers.
That person don't know no better. When a joke goes wrong, it's gonna be heavy. Don't do this. Look at that. That's what you're looking for. A nice crust on the meat. Can I see it? Okay. Looking for a nice crust. And we're searing that on both sides just to kind of lock in some flavor. That's all you're really doing when you're searing meat. You're locking in flavor. So in this process, I love to keep these in my kitchen. This is a, what do you call that? A crock pot bag. What do they call it? Oven safe bag. And it just makes for easier cleanup. Oh, there you go. Okay. So I'm gonna turn our pot off, our pan. Let that just continue. So I like to put a bit of onion at the bottom so that the meat can sit on it. Take a couple pieces and just break them up. Put that to the bottom. And these onions are pretty much gonna disintegrate. They're pretty much going to disintegrate. We got our carrots. Are y'all like me, even though it says that they washed them, you just don't trust them? So you gotta rinse them off yourself. Just rinse those off real good. And the same thing with the carrots. Like to put a couple to the bottom. And we're not adding any water to this meat at all. No water. No water. It has enough fat, has enough moisture inside the meat that you don't have to. So, heavy, y'all. Put that right in there. Right in. And that's the hard part. That's honestly the hardest part right there. Okay. Show you a couple more things I like to do to make sure that we have a lot of flavor. We're gonna put in a capful of browning. Remember, everything will be posted. We're gonna put in, what was it, like three squirts of Worcestershire? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Put in the rest of our onions. Did y'all see that? No? Okay, good. Put that in the bloopers.
Oh no, that's all.
Oh, that's all? I'm gonna plug in our crock pot. Why are you laughing at me? No. No, not yet. As long as it gets plugged in. Can you imagine coming back 6 hours later? And it's not quite cooked. Now, normally you would add in potatoes. I'm not adding in potatoes because, like I said, we're making mashed potatoes to go along with ours. But I am gonna put in a couple sprigs of fresh thyme. I like to keep mine in the freezer. That should be good. And then don't forget about that plate of seasoning that we had. We dumping that in there too. No water. Repeat after me. No water. Okay? Okay. It looks pretty good. Can I see? They can? Okay, very good. Bring this up a little bit. I don't have that cooking on the wall. Okay, so y'all, again, this was the hardest part. The second hardest part is letting it cook. Because now you're going to be so antsy all day long, like, oh my God, I'm ready to eat. Don't touch it, leave it alone. I will come back in about 4 or 5 hours to show y'all the progress. If we need to add a little bit more salt, a little bit more seasoning, because at that time we can start to taste because the meat will actually be cooked. So I'm going to put it on high and we'll see you guys in 5 hours. Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking Ain't Quiet. As promised, we are back actually about 6 to 7 hours later. Be mindful that this does take a long time, and if you are working from home or you work away from home, this is the perfect meal to put on and walk away. So, we have a special guest in the studio, in the building. Rachel Ray.
Hey, y'all.
This is my best friend, Sandy, and she's going to be our taste tester today because I know y'all are tired of me just eating and saying, this tastes so good, or the co-creator saying the same thing. So now we finally have a guest in the house. So, let's see. Got our new ramekins. Potato. And it's just a sample. I'm gonna get some of that good juice. Got a piece of meat. Ooh. That's yours.
Thank you.
Didn't have to make a cute one.
I had to show people.
You said you had to show the people.
Thank you.
And then just so y'all can see a little bit better. And these are our mashed potatoes. We've talked about them before. This time I did not put any of the, what did I tell them? Like skim milk or something. I didn't put any cauliflower in there. This time we got heavy cream. We do have our vegan butter. You know I love that stuff. And some lactose-free milk just to thin it out a little bit. Gonna put a little bit of the sauce. And then a piece of the beef. Y'all look at it. You literally just, look. Comes up so easy. It's a little too big, but, ooh, it's good. Look at that. Some of that. You can see it. Little beef stew. All the slander that's been happening. I can't stand it. I don't stand for it. So I'm gonna move out the way and I'm gonna let
You get the first bite.
Taste it. Mind you, y'all, she don't like potatoes, so let's see.
It's actually really good.
Thank you. Thank you. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
The potatoes, they taste really good.
Yeah, she is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little hot. Wait a minute, I gotta get my piece. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay.
She did that.
The recipe, the ingredients, everything will be listed down below, and I'll see y'all next week.